Okay. Yes. Now am I audible properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
So he skipped one very important process. Anybody notice that? No one noticed that. Where are the gastric juices? Without juices, break down.
Ma'am, in stomach portion, more gastric juices, means foods will be formed in the chyme by mixing with the gastric juice.
He mentioned that. That's right.
Ma'am, voice breaking.
Now is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So let me clear the concept. He escaped the bile juice from liver, which has been stored by gallbladder, and pancreatic juice. So these are very important juices for digestion, right? So he completed absorption and assimilation in small intestine without gastric juices. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
And I'm audible properly?
Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible properly.
Yes. Mr. Saikat, you can continue. Yes, please continue. Complete your.
Ma'am, thereafter, when the bile juices and hydrochloric acid mixed with food, that become chyme, and that chyme enters into small intestine by pyloric sphincter, and thereafter it enters into small intestine where the food is get absorbed by villi, and it enters into uh, duodenum, and where the rest of the water absorption takes place. And from that part, the waste material is accumulated into colon, and it was defecated from our body.
So still, it's not clear, right? So let me repeat the concept once again. Till gastric means till stomach, you are right. But after stomach, when it is coming to duodenum or small intestine, then with chyme, pancreatic juice and bile juice is mixed in duodenum, and that makes complete digestion. That makes digestion complete, and after that, absorption and assimilation takes place in small intestine. From there, the nutrition is getting mixed with blood, and those nutritions are uh, getting those nutritions are getting distributed throughout the body by blood. And the next, which is the waste material or the remaining portion after small intestine, getting uh, passed to large intestine, and In large intestine, most of the absorptions are water. Only few absorption takes place in large intestine, some of minerals and some of nutrients, not nutrients much. Much of the water is being absorbed from large intestine, and in this large intestine only our remaining stuff of small intestine convert into feces, right? Then it comes, the waste material or feces comes out through anus, right? Is there any query, any question, any doubt?
Ma'am, Newton's started observation from duodenum,
No, not from duodenum. After,
jejunum, ileum also.
yes.
Means
Okay.
in duodenum only bile juices and pancreatic juices mixed with the chyme. Is it
Yes.
correct?
And in that portion, digestion is taking place.
Only this much portion is having duodenum.
Hmm, what you are talking? Okay. So, till where we have covered yesterday?
Yes, today we will start from digestion procession means from starting ingestion, I think.
Okay. So, answer me, what are the phases of digestion? Yes.
First ingestion, then
No, phases of gastric juice secretion. Sorry, my question was wrong. Secretion of gastric juice was divided into some phases, right? No one remembered. It was divided into three phases. Those were cephalic phase and gastric phase and intestinal phase. Go through the slides. You people are not going through the slides. Okay, let us start. Today.
back your voice is breaking, not coming to us anything.
Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am. When you are asking, it's okay. But when you are talking, it's going out.
Uh, Let me check once. Am I sharing hotspot? I think we should start. It will manage. So, today we will start from activities of digestive system, as we have completed the functions of large intestine yesterday. Today we will do activities of digestive system. So first activity is ingestion. Ingestion refers to the entry of food into alimentary canal through the mouth. There, the food is chewed and mixed with saliva, which contains enzymes that begin breaking down the carbohydrates in the food, plus some lipid digestion via lingual lipase. Chewing increases the surface area of food and allows appropriately sized bolus to be produced. So it is very easy to understand. We have already discussed. Am I audible properly now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it has been already discussed that when we are consuming food, food is going into the alimentary canal through mouth, and at the starting, it is being mixed with saliva and being chewed, means breaking down process is first done by our teeth. That is why we have learned the types of teeth. So breaking down has taken place in mouth through teeth and mixed with saliva, and then some of nutrients like carbohydrates and some lipid digestion also takes place in mouth only. Now, after mouth, the bolus is produced and it goes on esophagus. And this is bolus. You can see here the uh, collect, collective amount of food we take in a bite. That is bolus. Okay. Next is food leaves the mouth when tongue and pharyngeal muscle propel it into the esophagus. Okay, so swallowing is an important feature of tongue. Okay, so with the help of tongue and pharyngeal muscles, I hope you people remember what is pharynx, right? Do you
Yes, ma'am.
remember?
That is
What?
uh,
Yes.
food pathway.
Hmm. What were the types of pharynx?
Means there are three types, I think. Yes, ma'am. Exactly not remembering.
Okay, go through the
Nasopharynx,
slides and
osopharynx, laryngopharynx.
uh, please repeat. Yes, please repeat. Hello.
He's saying oropharynx. Um,
Nasopharynx, osopharynx, and laryngopharynx.
It's not osopharynx, it's oropharynx.
oropharynx.
Okay. From oral, it has came oro. Okay. So yes, these are the three parts of pharynx, which is located from our just after our nasal cavity to the neck area. Okay. So these pharyngeal muscles help us to swallow. Next step is propulsion. This act of swallowing, propulsion is the act of swallowing, the last voluntary act until defecation. Okay, so when we once swallowed the food, then we don't have any control over that bolus till it is in the mouth, and until it has not been swallowed by us, we can do everything. But just after swallowing, we cannot do anything. It is under control of smooth muscles or involuntary muscles. So propulsion is the act of swallowing, and sorry, the last voluntary act until defecation is an example of propulsion, which refers to movement of food through digestive tract. Sorry, so propulsion is the movement of food in the digestive tract. It includes both voluntary process of swallowing and involuntary process of peristalsis. So let me clear the propulsion. Propulsion is the whole process starting from swallowing to the defecation of stool. So, propulsion is consisting both voluntary and involuntary action, as it is including swallowing, which is voluntary action, and it is also including peristalsis, which is an involuntary action. So, propulsion is including both voluntary and involuntary actions. The peristalsis consists of sequential altering waves of contraction and relaxation of elementary wall of smooth muscle which act to propel the food along. Okay, the concept of propulsion is clear. Yes,
Means
anybody?
yes, ma'am. Means propulsion, saying about food starting from means a shallowing to defecation the stool. Yes,
Hmm.
ma'am.
Yes, it is. But you have to understand the thing that propulsion is including both swallowing
Volume.
and peristalsis. Okay, swallowing is done by our own wish, our own will. We swallow any food by our own will, or you can say it is an voluntary act. But after swallowing, it has no control, means we have no control over the bolus. Then peristalsis occurs, right? After the food is leaving pharyngeal muscles, we have only control till our pharyngeal muscles. So after the food is leaving the pharyngeal muscles, peristalsis start. We don't have any control over it. But propulsion is including both the swallowing and peristalsis. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Next is digestion. Digestion includes both mechanical and chemical processes. Yes, peristalsis is also part of digestion because digestion is taking part from stomach and small intestine and large intestine, and peristalsis is the process of uh, to whole GI tract. Peristalsis occurs from this esophagus to anus. So, peristalsis is a mechanical process, and a chemical process occurs when the bolus is coming to stomach. Then different chemicals are released to break down the food. So digestion is both mechanical and chemical process. We will learn it in detail now. How mechanical? It includes physical movement to make the food smaller to increase both surface area and mobility. Okay. Mechanical process are mastication or chewing. Okay. We at first we chew the food. We break down the food by our mechanical power, by teeth. So mastication is chewing. So at first mastication, that is mechanical process occurring, then the mechanical churning of food in stomach creating an acidic soup called chyme, that is also mechanical process. The physical movements are taking place. Also peristalsis is a type of mechanical process. Physical movement is taking place. Then, how chemical? It involves secretion of enzymes through digestive tract, starting in the mouth. Digestive secretions break down the chemical bonds that hold particles together, complex food molecules into their chemical building blocks. For example, protein into separate amino acids. The process is completed in small intestine. So I hope you got the concept of chemical digestion. It's very easy that when it is in the mouth, when the food is in the mouth, then it is mixed with saliva. Saliva is itself a chemical. Then it is coming to stomach, different gastric juices are being secreted and mixed. Then it comes to small intestine. Here also different digestive juices is mixed. So these chemicals are helping the food to break down. For example, like protein is broken down into amino acids. Okay, so amino, you learned a very important thing here, that amino acid is the shorter or simpler form of protein. You got the concept? Amino acids are the simpler form of protein. Means when protein is getting digested, then amino acid forms from protein. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Ji.
And can you tell me what is the simplest form of carbohydrate? When carbohydrate is being digested, then what forms as the most simplest?
Ma'am, glucose. Glycol.
Yes. And from, okay, you tried well. Glucose is simplest form of carbohydrate, and from glucose, pyruvic acid is formed. Pyruvic acid or pyruvate. Okay, and the next very important nutrient is fat. So, what is the simplest form of fat? These are very important questions in exam point of view. Yes, anyone? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes,
you
Ji.
are
Is
audible.
it fatty acid?
Yes, very good. Speak up. You are not wrong. Don't hesitate. Speak up. And I will not beat you in online. Although I'm younger in age, so I will not beat you never. I respect you all. So don't hesitate. Speak up. You are right. So
Yes, ma'am.
fatty acid is the simplest form of fat. So what we have learned that digestion is both chemical and mechanical process. Okay. Next is after when the food is being digested, when it is broken down into simplest form, then it gets absorbed. That is absorption. When the breaking down or digestion is completed, then absorption takes place. So food that has been broken down is of no value to body unless it enters the bloodstream. So, if the food has been broken down, it has been digested completely, but it has not entered into bloodstream, so it do not have any value, right? When it is entering to bloodstream and it is being reached to each and every cell, each and every necessary cell of the body, then it has its value, right? So after digestion, absorption takes place. This occurs through the process of absorption, which takes place primarily within small intestine and large intestine. So primarily absorption takes place in small intestine, and few amount is also takes place in large intestine. Then after absorption, defecation or elimination, the final step. Undigested materials are removed from the body as feces. Okay, so this is the complete process of digestion as basic. I hope you get the concept. Now we will learn a single organ, that is pancreas. Pancreas is a pale gray gland weighing about 60 grams. It's approx. It is about 12 to 15 semi long. It consists of broad head, a body, and a narrow tail. The head lies in the curve of duodenum. The body behind the stomach and the tail lies in front of left kidney. So here, this is pancreas. This yellow colored gland, this is pancreas. Now you can see the location of pancreas. It is located, means the head of pancreas is just touching the duodenum. The head is located at the curve of duodenum, that is small intestine. Let me take the pencil. Yes. Here, this is pancreas. You can see here. It has been depicted by yellow color here, but it is pale gray colored. Okay. Now the important thing is it is a leaf shaped organ. You can see it is looking like a leaf of a tree, and the pancreas is having pancreatic duct. You can see here, this is a main pancreatic duct. It is collecting pancreatic juices from the cells of pancreas. So this collecting duct is collecting pancreatic juices from the cells of pancreas, and here you can see that it is the pancreatic juice is entering to small intestine or duodenum, right? Here pancreatic juice is entering to duodenum, and here you can see, yes, here you can see this is gallbladder, and this is liver. So liver is producing bile juice. We will learn this once again. And gallbladder is storing the bile juice, and gallbladder is also releasing the bile juice here. You can see in the picture. Gallbladder is also releasing the bile juice here in small intestine. This is the duct, and this is the pancreatic duct. Okay, I hope the picture is clear. Here in duodenum, these juices are being collected and digestion takes place. Now, pancreas having different types of cell. Those are alpha cell, beta cell, delta cell. So, functions of pancreas are very interesting. So, pancreas is a very good example of endocrine and exocrine gland. Means pancreas act like both endocrine and exocrine gland. And do you have any idea regarding endocrine and exocrine gland?
Ma'am, endocrine glands stimulate more hormones, means that hormones stimulate all the organs to do their activity. And exocrine glands means helping for excretory system.
Endocrine glands release the hormones in the blood streams, nerves
Yes.
and all. Outside the
Yes.
nerves and all, exocrine glands will release hormones.
Yes, very good. Endocrine glands release the hormones directly to the bloodstream, and exocrine glands having duct. Okay, so pancreas act like both endocrine and exocrine, as it releases its hormones directly to the blood, and it also act like exocrine when it is having its duct to release hormone. So let us see how pancreas is exocrine. This consists a large number of lobules which consist of secretory cells. So the pancreas is divided into different lobules which are consisting of secretory cells. Each lobule is drained by tiny duct, and these unite eventually to form pancreatic duct. So these lobules having their duct, small duct, and these small ducts are being collected to the main duct, which extends along the whole length of gland and opens into duodenum. We have already seen in the picture here that small ducts are collecting the pancreatic juice from different lobules, and main duct is in the middle of the pancreas the juices from lobules.
Madam, your voice is breaking a lot.
Oh God, now is it clear?
Yes, Ji. You speak, we will get to know.
Please inform me immediately.
Okay, okay, Ji.
So I have to hold my phone in the up. I don't know what is happening with me. So the pancreas is collecting, means small ducts of pancreas is collecting juices from the lobules, and then all these small ducts are being collected to the main duct of pancreas, which extends along the whole length of gland and opens into duodenum. Just before entering the duodenum, the pancreatic duct joins the common bile duct to form the hepatopancreatic ampulla of Vater. Okay, so just entering before duodenum, this pancreatic duct is connecting with or mixed with this bile duct, which is coming from gallbladder, right? So they make a common duct just entering before duodenum. So that common portion is known as hepatopancreatic ampulla of Vater. Hepato means hepato word coming from liver, and the bile juice is being secreted by liver. That is why hepatopancreatic. So in that duct, bile juice is there, released by gallbladder, produced by liver, and pancreatic juice is also there. That is why hepatopancreatic ampulla of matter. Now, the function of exocrine pancreas is to produce pancreatic juice containing enzymes, some in the form of inactive precursors that digest carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Okay. Next is the endocrine pancreas. Distributed through the gland are groups of specialized cells called pancreatic islets or islets of Langerhans. So, a specialized cell in the pancreas. Islets of Langerhans are the specialized cells of pancreas. These islets have no duct, so the hormones diffuse directly into the blood. Okay, the endocrine pancreas secretes the hormones insulin and glucagon, which are principally concerned with the control of blood glucose level. So here comes a history of diabetes. Means pancreas is producing insulin and glucagon, which are directly regulating our blood glucose level. Okay, so I hope you have idea that patients suffering from diabetes sometimes taking insulin as injecting insulin or having insulin tablets for maintaining their blood glucose level. So in that case, I have to go in details. So in that case, either pancreatic cells become less efficient, or the receptor in our body, means receptor of cells in our body getting um, getting worsen to accept insulin. I hope you are not getting me. So let me explain it properly. So what happens in diabetes? There are generally two types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2. So what happens in type 1 diabetes? In type 1 diabetes, the receptor, let me take the pencil. Mm, yes. So what happened in type 1 diabetes? Uh, each and every cell needs glucose, right? In our body, each and every cell needs glucose. So glucose is being transformed by is being reached by the blood to the each and every cell. Now the blood is serving glucose to each and every cell, but there is receptors in the cell membrane. We have already learned that in the cell membrane different channels are there, different receptors are there to enter in the cell. Anything cannot go inside or outside the cell without passing the cell membrane. Cell membrane will give permission, right? So, receptor for insulin is also there. Why receptor for insulin? Because this insulin uh, will open up the uh, pathway for glucose. Okay, if insulin is not getting recepted by the cell, then blood glucose will not enter the cell. Are you getting me?
Yes, Chief.
Yes. So if insulin is not getting permitted or insulin is not getting accepted by the cell, then blood glucose will not enter the cell. So, what happens in type 1 diabetes? Receptors of insulin getting dysfunctioned, or receptors of insulin are not functioning up to the mark. So, they are not opening up for insulin, as the receptors of insulin are not working. So, glucose in blood cannot enter to the cell. So our cells are not getting nutrition. As per the dysfunction of insulin receptors, blood glucose cannot enter to the cell. So here the cell needs glucose, but it cannot have glucose because glucose cannot enter without help of insulin, and insulin receptors are dysfunctioned in the cell membrane. So here the cell is thirsty, the cell is hungry to get glucose, and on the other hand, blood glucose level is rising because we are eating properly. Blood glucose level is having its maximum amount to make the cells nutritious, but the cells are not getting glucose. So where the glucose is getting deposited, the glucose is getting deposited in the bloodstream only, and that is why glucose level in blood is getting higher. So that, because of that, blood glucose level is going higher. That makes diabetes. So thus diabetes type 1 happen. And another thing is insulin is not produced in enough amount by pancreas. It happens in type 2 diabetes. Sorry, what I have explained till now is type 2 diabetes, and in type 1 diabetes, this pancreas is not efficient enough to produce insulin. Okay, so when a pancreas is
Yes, Ji.
not efficient enough to produce insulin, means pancreas is not producing enough amount of insulin, then also the cells are not getting insulin, means glucose will enter to cell with the help of insulin only. So we are eating properly glucose, and cells are also okay, receptors are also okay, but insulin is not present. Deficiency of insulin is there. That is why glucose cannot enter to the cells, and that is why blood glucose level is going higher to higher. So these are the two conditions of diabetes, type 1 and type 2, where blood glucose level is going higher. And this insulin is produced by
It is caused
beta
by
cells.
autoimmune disease, no, Ji?
Yes,
Type 1 diabetes.
yes. Yeah, you can say, but not properly. Yeah, you can say it. Autoimmune disease. Autoimmune, yeah, you can say. So, where was I? Yes. So, beta cells of pancreas produce insulin. Pancreas is having different types of cells like alpha cells, beta cells, delta cells, and gamma cells. So, beta cells of pancreas produce insulin, which is the islets of Langerhans. Okay. So, yes, the endocrine pancreas is the gland means these islets of Langerhans in pancreatic cells produce insulin, and they don't have any duct, so they release the hormone directly to the bloodstream. The blood capillaries present in pancreas collect the insulin from these islets of Langerhans or the beta cells of pancreas. That is why this gland, means this pancreas, is also endocrine, as it is releasing insulin hormone directly to the blood, and it is releasing pancreatic juice through duct to duodenum. So it is example of both endocrine and exocrine gland. Oh, it's 8 a.m. So I think we should wind up the class. Or if you want, we can continue as per your wish.
No, ma'am, it's too much for today.
Okay.
This
I
diabetes
have
concept.
explained the concept of diabetes type 1 and type 2 just for your understanding. Don't get stressed. Don't get too much of pressure. I think that if you get the concept, then it will be easy for you to understand everything.
It will also help in therapy concept is there, na? It will help in there, madam.
Yes. These are the basic concepts. Whatever I tell you in this class are very, very basic concepts. So I hope you understand those things. If you don't get, you can tell me. I will present.
No, ma'am, you explained very nicely, but we should remember it in our efficiency. Okay, ma'am.
So, if you are getting the concept, then I hope it is not very difficult to remember. Understanding the concept is main thing.
Yes,
When
yes,
you are
ma'am.
getting the concept, I don't think that it will be
Ma'am,
difficult to
your
remember.
voice is
So let us wind up.
yes.
My voice is breaking. Okay, so let us wind up the class with prayer. Sit comfortable, upright your spine, close your eyes, inhale deep and long, exhalation with all the pressure, all the hesitations, all the lethargy. Inhale deep and long. Inhale all the concept we have learned today. Fix all the concept in your brain. Exhale completely. Relax the mind. Relax the body. Now, adapt Namaskar Mudra in front of your chest. Inhale and start the prayer. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयम् सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Now rub your palms. Put those palms on your facial muscles. Feel the warmth. Feel the energy. And open your eyes with a smile. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.